So today may have seemed like a big nothing burger with Jerome Powell speaking and what happened following that, but it's a little bit bigger than what people realize. And in fact, we're continuing to see this decorrelation, which is necessary for this next leg in the crypto market that we've seen many times before. So we're going to break this all down in this video for you guys. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So we've obviously dealt with a little bit of volatility today, and this is coming off of Jerome Powell speaking in front of the Economic Club of Chicago. And what he said was a lot of what we've been hearing as of late, a lot of words to fill the space. Oh, inflation may run out. That's not a great Jerome Powell impression, but inflation may run out of control because of tariffs. The economy's doing fine. We're not rushing to make a decision. If you haven't noticed, he just tends to say the same thing over and over again. And that's kind of been the case for the last several years. So today really didn't bring us much in terms of new information. What we did see though, was we did see a drop in the stock market and we saw a drop in the crypto market. For example, here's BTC's hourly candle. You guys can see the ugly 2% drop, not a big one in the grand scheme of things, but we did work our way into some of those long liquidations. You know, if we look at BTC price, for example, there's a little bit of long interest here that caused some price drop to the downside. We saw this in alts throughout the space as well. And the stock market actually finished with an ugly day. $1.5 trillion wiped out once again. Just ugly day overall. But then what did we see from crypto? We actually saw a little bit of a bounce back. In fact, right now at the time of filming this video, we're still in that retest box. We're up about 0.75% on the daily. And what we're actually continuing to see is this decorrelation from the stock market, which is incredibly necessary, that we've had many times before. You know, guys, just since 2023 alone, this decorrelation has led to 1, 2, 3 huge breakouts across the crypto space. And right now, if you guys remember, we started this in the early part of April. This is a continuation of that breakout extension versus the S&P. This is a very big deal that I don't think a lot of people are going to give it credit for, but it's something to watch nonetheless, because when the people in the crypto market stop reacting to the stock market, when they stop reacting to a lot of this nothing news, that is when the sentiment shifts. That is when we can start making these big steps forward. Now, what I will say is, guys, let's start here. We're not seeing this huge aping of capital like we were months ago. And this is something that Ali Charts posted. And I think that this is very important. And this is very essential for people to understand. What we were seeing back in November and the early part of December was huge capital inflows to the crypto market. Lots of capital flowing into the exchanges, and that has dwindled in a massive way. In fact, since probably early part of March, it's almost flatlined. Now, understand that this is still positive. We're not seeing outflows. Okay. That's a very key part. And I think that a lot of people are missing, people who are talking about us falling into bear markets and it's just going to be crap and stuff. When the capital flows start to turn negative, sure, we run that potential, but that hasn't happened yet. Even in some of these ugly times where we've dealt with black swan events and consistent tariff news, we haven't shifted negative. Capital flows still continue to position themselves and buy the dip, And what we're continuing to see right now is USDT dominance that is really fighting to break to the downside, meaning that, again, people are heavily buying the dip. And what it wants to do is the market wants to pump. It wants to go on a big run overall. So we keep sitting here in basically prime position for a major breakout across the crypto market. No, this isn't me spinning things or anything like that. That's where we're at right now. In fact, obviously USDT dominance today, big old red day, 0.65% drop off in terms of today's daily candle. It's fighting that 20-day moving average. Guys, this is what it wants to do. It wants to make that drop to the downside. It wants to send alts on, 20, 30, 40% pumps. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen right now. But the more that we see the crypto market not be reactionary, the more that we see people investing less on emotion and more on fundamentals, the better primed the market is going to be for this big breakout. And I have a feeling that once some of these short liquidations start, it's going to be a very quick road to the upside. Now, obviously, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. And obviously, I talked about this in my ADA video a little bit earlier, and people were kind of giving me crap as the market dropped, but we actually recovered, and we recovered back higher than where we were before Jerome Powell spoke, except for BTC. BTC is a little bit lower. But you guys get the point. The market is showing a lot of resilience. It's showing all these signs of wanting to break to the upside. And the question is, when will this happen? Maybe it's on some news. Maybe it's random. Maybe it's on more announcements of trade deals being put into place. Maybe it's just on a big old announcement of the US and China finally getting along. But understand that we are going through the same thing we have dealt with many times before. And this is going to be very good for crypto. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.